Hi. Um, Remember that I said that I'd explain key signatures to you, and I probably should have done this video beforehand, but I just didn't get to it. So I'm going to do it now. How I explain key signatures and how to memorize what notes are on what keys, or what notes are on what scales. We sort of use these terms in the beginning interchangeably, because if the key signature is C, that denotes a C scale. If the key signature is F, that denotes an F scale. If the key signature is D flat, that denotes a D flat scale. Okay? Now, we're not going to talk about concert keys, and a lot of you who are in school bands are getting hit with concert keys. We're not going to talk about that. We're just going to talk about the scale in sort of a pure form, and the chart that I use to help you memorize what notes are on what scales. All right. What I do for my students is that I draw a chart, and you have to excuse my rotten penmanship. I had a really bad third grade teacher, and this is not something I learned to do very well. And we're going to write the numbers 1 through 7 on the top of the chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And make a little grid. Now these are just going to be for the what we're going to call the flat scales. Now I'm going to call them the flat scales because they just have flats in them. Okay? Here we go. Now, as we just played in an exercise, we played a scale that has one flat, and that flat was B flat. We'll put flats here, and the name of the scale here. Okay? The scale that has one flat is B flat, is F, and it only has one flat. Now, the thing is that if you remember what I'm about to tell you, that there is a specific order for the flats. They come on the staff in a very specific order, and that order is B flat, E flat, and then A flat, D flat, G flat, C flat, and F flat. Okay? So if you understand that if they come in this order, B, E, A, D, G, C, F. Which means if there are two flats in a key signature, one of them will be B and one of them will be E. If there are four flats in the key signature, there'll be B, E, A, and D. If there are three, it'll be B, E, and A. There will never be B, G, F, and A. Isn't that comforting? As long as you remember the order, B, E, A, D, G, C, F. BEAD, greatest common factor, is what I use with my students. Okay, so let's get to this. Let's get to the scale names, and let's see if you recognize a pattern, because there is a pattern. All right. Remember the first flat scale has one flat, and we call that F. The second of the flat scales has two flats, and we call that B flat. That's our B flat scale. That's the scale that starts on B flat, ends on B flat, and has B flat and E flat in the scale. Okay? Let's see if you notice the pattern. The third scale has B flat, E flat, and A flat. Okay, remember it has three flats. It's going to have these flats in this order, B flat, E flat, and A flat. That it's not going to have B flat, G flat, and F flat. Isn't that comforting that it's not random? The name of that scale is E flat. Are you noticing a pattern? I'll do one more to see if you notice the pattern. The next scale has four flats, B flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat. Okay? And the name of that scale is A flat. You have got to see the pattern by now, don't you? Look at the pattern. We start on F with B flat. The next scale is called B flat. The next scale has B flat and E flat. The next scale is called E flat. The next scale has B flat, E flat, and A flat. The next scale is called A flat. Whatever the last flat is in a key signature is the name of the next scale in the circle. So you can already guess with 5 flats what the next scale is going to be called, can't you? That's right, D flat. And the next one, very good, G flat. And the next one, C flat. And those are all of the flat scales. Let me get in front of the camera. Here, I'm sorry. Ooh, whoa, I showed it big, didn't I? Let's do a quick quiz. That's my flute or something falling, I think. All right, let's do a very quick quiz. How many, by looking at the chart, let me see if I can get you closer. That'll help a little bit. Is that better? How many flats does the A flat scale have? Let's see. Here are the name of the scales, the flats, and the number. How many flats does the A flat scale have? There's A flat. A flat has 4 flats. And what are those flats? B flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat. Did you get it? Let's do another one. How many flats does the B flat scale have? And what are those flats? Well, let's find the B flats. There's your B flat scale. How many flats does it have? 2. And what are those flats? B flat and E flat. Let's do one with a bigger number. What scale, I'm switching it up on you. What scale has 6 flats? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The G flat scale has 6 flats. What are those flats? B, E, A, D, G, and C. The G flat scale has 6 flats. B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, and C flat. You see how easy that is? Those are the flat scales. Doesn't seem very hard, does it? All right, give me a minute, and we're going to flip the record over and do the sharp scales for you. Okay, we're back. Sorry for being so close. There's not much room here. Now we're going to, as you can see, I've in the break I've drawn the full chart for the sharp scales, and we're going to go through those one at a time. Okay, here we go. All right, let's see if you can see that. I'll move this up a little bit so you can see it. There you are. Now, just like there is a very specific order for the flats as you draw them on the staff, there's a very specific order for the sharps as you draw them on the staff. If there is only one sharp on the staff, it's going to be F. The second sharp will be C, and then G, D, A, E, and B. Now, some of you who are really smart, who are really good at solving puzzles, have already seen something. You've already noticed something. You've already noticed that the order of the sharps, F, C, G, D, A, E, and B, is the order of the flats reversed. So if you learn it one way, all you have to do is write it the other way for the sharps or write it the other way for the flats. Pretty easy. Which is why it's important to learn the order of the sharps and flats. The order of the sharps, F, C, G, D, A, E, B. And the order of the flats are the other way. Now, the chart works the same as it did when we were talking about flats. If you have one sharp in the key signature, it's going to be F. It's going to be F sharp. That makes the key G. Remember, these are the sharps, and this is the name of the scale or the key, G. Now let's see if you notice this pattern. This pattern's a little different. If you have two sharps, they'll be F sharp and C sharp, and the name of the key will be D, or the name of the scale will be D. We'll do one more and see if you get it. If you have three, you'll have F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp, and the name of the key or the name of the scale will be A. Did you notice something? That the name of the scale is a half step up from the last sharp. Here, F is the only sharp, thus it's the first and the last sharp, and a half step up from F sharp is G. Here, there are two sharps, the last sharp being C, and a half step up from C is the key is D. So that's the name of the key. Here, the last sharp of F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp is G sharp. A half step up from G sharp is A. And the pattern continues. Now, we're going to get right to the quiz. Before we delay the quiz, but we're going to get right to the quiz. If there are three sharps in a scale or a key, what's the name of the key? The key is A, and what are those sharps? F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. If there are five sharps in a key signature, what is the name of that scale or that key? If there are five, the name of the major key is B, and those sharps are F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, and A sharp. If there are four sharps in a key signature, what is the name of the key? And what is the key? And what's the key signature? What sharps are on the key signature? Can you see? If there are four, that's right, E. And what are the sharps? That's right too. F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp. Easy enough, right? So there you go. I'm going to have this in reference to on all the rest of the videos that we do from now on. It'll be in a card that's up top with a little, the little thing you can click on, so you can reference this in the rest of the videos that we do. It's really important that you learn your scales, because if you can play your scales, I guarantee, if you can play all 12 major scales, I guarantee there's really not much else you can't do. I guarantee that learning your other scales, and I call the other scales the ones that you really need to know are the fabulous 50, which are all 12 of your major scales, your minor scales, there are 3 forms, that's 36, and your 2 whole tone scales. It'll be easy. And the sooner you do it, the better off you're going to be. Alright, there's our scales video. See you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.